So if all went to plan, you will have seen me building these guys. These are my border boxes, which I have created with some leftover wood that I had in the garden. They were pretty easy to put together actually. That one over there is the first one. That took a little bit more figuring out and is a bit more mishmashy than this one, but all in all it really wasn't that difficult to do. And then I have given it a coat of linseed oil, as the same thing I did with the veg boxes over there. And then I've just put some plastic on the inside, made some drainage holes in that, and then I've filled it with some very small lavender and salvia. I just got some really tiny little baby ones because plants are expensive, and to fill a box like this it could become really pricey quite quickly. So I just went for little baby ones because we're kind of nearing the end of the year anyway. So hopefully next year they will grow back bigger and bolder. So I'll step back so you can get a little view of what I decided to do with the area in the end. So I've got one border box, I've moved my stone bench there with some potted plants around, and then a border box on the other side. Inside the pots on the bench, I have just put in the middle bigger ones are just some mini roses, so hopefully they'll be quite happy in there for quite a while. And then I've got my 2 potted osteospermum. So yeah, I'm really happy with that little project, and I think it works really well actually, much better than a fence would have done, and I've still managed to leave a really significant gap down there for the vents. So I think I will give you a bit of a tour of the garden in general, just so you can see little bits and bobs that I've changed. So the next project is going to be graveling this area to turn it into the seating area. So I need to, like I said, I need to gravel that. This is my new little garden coffee table. This I actually found in Glam's Castle Antique Shop, which I really didn't expect on my day out. So look how, so you can see how cute that is, just a little coffee table. So I'll just get some mishmash chairs to go around it to make my seating area over here. So that'll be the next job, will be graveling this area. So not much has changed in that respect. My bird bath have moved there. It really needs a clean out. You wouldn't believe that I actually just cleaned that out not that long ago. So let's walk over to the border over here. The grass needs cutting, but we won't talk about that. So over here, my tiny little hydrangea is doing really well. I've got a new dahlia there. The plants that I planted before, again, doing really well. And I don't know if you guys will have seen the last videos, but this, if you remember, if you did see it, is my little rescue rose. And if the camera will focus, you will see it's actually starting to flower. I don't think it's actually going to focus. How nice is that? And then if we come up here again, dahlia's doing really well. My last year's dahlia has gotten huge, and it's got some lovely big buds on there. So if I'm correct, if I remember rightly, this will be the orange one. I'm not sure. I had an orange one and I had a pink one, and I cannot tell which one this is going to be. So, but that's huge anyway. Then my hydrangeas finally started to give me some flowers. I've put the fuchsia in the ground. Alliums are sort of past their best. More of the hydrangeas. Foxglove again past its best. I've put in here, I don't know if this is going to survive or not, but that is a tiny little Veronica that was given to me as a present. I don't know if the camera's really going to do that much justice, but look how tiny that is. I don't know if it will survive out here, but I've put it in anyway, just to see. Again, all the hydrangeas. This guy still has not given me anything. Don't know why, considering the other ones are doing really well. The one next to it's doing really well. And this guy at the back here is actually giving me a second round of flowers. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. It looked like it was done and dying off, but it's come back. And then this giant hydrangea here, which I think I'm going to cut back to kind of control the size of it. Again, this one hasn't given me any flowers. So out of all those, what, like 9 hydrangeas, only 2 of them haven't given me any flowers. I've just put that little osteospermum in the back there in the ground. Then over here, my Leotris is doing really well. Bees are loving it. Really happy bees. The plant that I did from last year that I have no idea what it's called is, again, doing really well. That over there, if you can see that growing just at the back there, I think that's the beginning of my cyclamen coming back. So hopefully they will show their faces. The Veronicas that I planted in the middle here, I don't think you can really see from the glare. They've had their day. So I'm hoping they'll come back again next year. I'm not sure because, like I said, this area here, I don't know why things don't seem to want to grow there, because you can see there's a Leotris there that was planted at the same time as all the rest of them, and it's only that big. And I'm pretty sure I planted something here that's never materialized, so I don't really know what's going on there. But again, more Leotris looking happy as Larry. These guys at the back, the Cyclopses, again, they've had their day. They'll probably start to die back soon. And my Clematis is just loving life. If I give you a little pan up of how tall it's actually gotten, that's amazing, crazy. I don't think it'll be very long before that goes over the door like I planned. And then this one is done even better. It's grown all the way around there. So some more Leotris along here, loving life, doing really well. And my fuchsias have finally come back. They really just keep on giving. Actually, while we're speaking about it, you can see how the bees are so happy here. Look at them, just loving life on that Leotris. Amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. I've got loads at the moment. I've got loads of butterflies, loads of bees, loads of hoverflies. Lots of activity going on in the garden. These fuchsias here are coming out, but they're just a bit slower than the other ones, but that's fine. And you might have seen a little montage of me removing the other shed. So this is what's here now. It's a little seating area. I had other plans for this area, but I quite like having the chairs there actually, because this area gets a nice bit of sun, so it might stay like that. I might just add some potted plants along the back. I'm not sure yet. This hedge didn't get its hair cut, but it's fine. These slabs, again, this will be another job that I'll do before the summer's out. Taking those slabs out, and I'll probably, I don't know if I'll put some stones on top of that so it looks a bit more similar to these ones, or whether, I don't think it looks too bad because it's away from the other stuff, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Back down this way to this tree as well. Needs its haircut, but we won't talk about that. This is just a little messy area here where I've done all the weeding. And then round at the veg patch is looking very full. Look at that. I mean, come on. Come on, those tomatoes have done exceptional. These, which were the courgettes that never were, this has done really well. Like I said, I didn't know what to do with this, so it's kind of just grown. But you will see as well here, if the camera will focus in, how many bees are around here. So I'm not saying I'm going to plant this again next year, because I probably won't. Or if I do, there might be sort of like a little pot of it or something along those lines. I don't think I'll let it take over a whole bed next year, but like I said, I didn't touch it because the bees are really happy, and yeah, I just wouldn't remove it when they're just loving life like that. So there's loads of bees here. I've spotted at least 10, and this whole thing is just literally just buzzing. The noise is just buzzing from it. The only thing is, I did put a courgette at the back. So I actually have no idea how I'm going to get there to get my courgettes out without disturbing the bees. I just have to put on a suit, I think. But over here, the kale had its day. It's gone. So there are some tiny little spinach coming through. Those were cucumbers. I don't really expect them to give me anything, but I'll just leave them there to grow and see what happens. My lovely Cosmos is here doing really well in this bed. You can see how big it's got, considering the fact that I thought they were going to die. It's done amazing. This is just one little flower at the back here. I've had a few more, but I don't know if I can, the camera will show you. It's not the best at focusing, this camera, but if it does, you'll see there are some buds still to come out. So again, that will keep the bees quite happy, and little flowers are pretty. So that's those beds. You'll see that all the pots and everything that were hanging about here, I've had a major tidy up. I've actually organised the shed as well, but I didn't film that because you wouldn't have seen very much. But these tomatoes, they are flowering, so I don't know if don't think it'll be that long before I start to see some tomatoes on there. But you can see how much it's grown. It's wow. At the back here of the peas and the beans, they're also loving life. It's starting to intertwine, grab onto different things. I was going to build it up, but it seems to just kind of be growing inwards and wrapping around itself. So I don't know. I'll probably still add something height-wise. But can you see there? If the camera will focus, I have one little pea growing. When the sun was shining earlier, I could see through it the little peas inside, which are absolutely tiny. There's a few more peas in here somewhere. I think there's another one down there, if the camera will focus. So really, everything is doing pretty well back here. So I definitely think, I don't know if I've said this on camera actually, I definitely think I've had a bit of a change of heart. I did say originally that this was going to be all the veg beds that I was going to have, and I was going to have a seating area here. I probably still will have some sort of seating area, but I think the veg area is going to expand. What I think I will do in the end is I think I will create some extra border boxes along the back here. But those ones, I think what I'll do with them is use them maybe for carrots next year. So it'll be carrots, so they'll be quite tall so the carrots can grow down, or some other kind of root vegetables. I think that's what I'm going to do along there, or just herbs maybe. And then, like I said, I might just have a little table and chairs, and then just put, I'm not sure, maybe like a cold frame back here, something like that. I'm definitely going to put in some more beds, that's for sure, because I'm really finding this is not, it's not enough. It's not enough for what I want to do. I thought it was going to be plenty, but it's not. So I think that's going to expand next year. That's not really going to happen this year. It might happen, I might build the beds this year at some point, I'm not sure, but that might be being a bit ambitious. So like I said, next projects are going to be gravelling that area. You can see from this point of view actually how different it looks. So it's going to be gravelling that area and getting the stones out around the corner, and then anything else that happens this year is going to be a bonus. The trellis, you can see, is still the same old broken down trellis. Nothing's happened there. That is definitely 100% going to be a next year project. I thought about taking this plant out earlier on, but the flowers are kind of still there, and again the bees were really happy and I just didn't really want to disturb them, so I might wait until later on when this is all, it's pretty much died back mostly now anyway, but once it has, I'm gonna have to cut it back to get the trellis out. So I don't know, I'll have a think about what I'm going to do there, but that's it. So mostly the biggest change is my new border boxes.